Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. It is the Jalissa Joy. I'm traveling right now, so that's why behind me looks a little bit different. But today, I want to get right to it. Recently, I was sexually assaulted, and it was a really tough experience. When it first happened, it took me days to voice it, which is normal. I've found for people. I didn't want to tell anyone about it. I didn't even want to believe that it had happened to myself. And I'm such a casual individual that it was days before I really told someone. And I told my roommate as we were working out, and she encouraged me to go to the hospital. Please, please go to the hospital as soon as you can. If this ever happens to you, if you're around someone, unfortunately, that this happens to, encourage them, go with them to the hospital. I am so thankful to my sister, who is my roommate. What I call her is my sister. We're not blood sisters, but it fits because she was there for me. Any moment I felt down, packed up my things for me. Even, I didn't even know, brewed me tea, my favorite tea, so that I would have it to be comforted. You know, she was my shoulder to cry on while I was there. If you know, I didn't want to say something to the doctors, she stood up. If anything was difficult for me, she would speak for me. You know, she did everything in her power to make this as easy of a time as it could possibly be for me. She was so strong. And to go through sexual assault and be supported and protected by someone, it means so much. And I'm so thankful to her for that. Your support system is so important, especially when something like this happens to you. You need them. You really need them. And I'm so grateful for the people that I have surrounding me, because this time showed me they really do care for me. And I really would not have been as okay as I am without the people that I have on my team. And so going to the hospital was super traumatic. They ask you all these questions, but the reason why it's important to go is because they also give you treatment, you know. And for me, because it had been a few days, I wasn't able to get the HIV medication, but thank God I didn't, there's no medical residue. For me, I know that if there had been medical residue, any viruses or anything, I think that would have really broke me. And, you know, God definitely doesn't give us more than we can bear. And I'm thankful that he didn't. For just how my mind is, not having that medical residue allows me at sometimes to forget that it happened to me. If I want to forget, I can forget. So yeah, that's, you know, part of that. And afterwards, I felt numb. You know, after the whole experience, I was just so numb. I chose not to press charges, and that is a personal choice. Oftentimes, people wonder why women don't press charges. For me, I was able to communicate with the person that did this to me. I'm also able, if I want to press charges against the individual. I have all the materials and data if I ever wanted or felt that I needed to do that. But being able to communicate with this person, let them know what they did to me, have them acknowledge their behavior and know that what they did was wrong, that brought me closure. And for me, I am so blessed to have been able to do that. And moving forward with talking with my support system, which were my friends at this time, I hadn't told any family yet. One of my best friend, he let me know that he was like, I feel like you're okay, but I want you to get a therapist to make sure that you're okay. And let me tell you, people, communicating with someone about what's happened to you in regards to sexual assault or any tough conversation is so hard. I personally have been on the receiving end before this of someone being raped and sexually assaulted a friend of mine. And I felt so disgusted, like I couldn't understand how someone could do this to someone that I love. And then now, being in a situation where this has happened to me, it was hard on me to tell other people what happened, because I could see in their face the pain, and that they didn't want to be crying or anything in front of me because I'm the one, going through this experience, right? And it's a humbling experience for them and you. It really is. But I'm thankful that my best friend told me to get a therapist. I'm in therapy, thank God. Please, the wonderful thing about New York is they offer resources for you to reach out and be able to get assistance for this. And so I did. And so now I have a therapist and we talk, and it's wonderful. But I didn't tell my mom for a long time. I did not tell my mom what happened. And it goes back to feelings of shame, embarrassment, and quite frankly, not wanting to be questioned. It's hard to verbalize, for someone to really give you the play-by-play. Even now, I'm not choosing actively to not give the play-by-play of what actually happened to me, because it can be traumatic. It's like a reliving. I can talk about it, but to actually tell you what happened, it's hard. And I knew with my mom that she was going to want the play-by-play. She was going to want what happened. She was going to have questions, and questions that I didn't want to talk about. Like, it's hard for me to, I don't want to go there in my mind. And I know that a lot of other people that have been through this, that's how they feel too. And I think first and foremost, it's okay to know that this has happened to you. And I think people that this hasn't happened to, or if you know someone that it has happened to, you have to remember that this happened to them. So they need to do what they have to do to get back right. Because it's not easy. Even if they look like it's easy, it's not. And poking and prodding, it's hard. Now, I do believe that, you need to let them know, anyone that has experienced this, to let them know that you are there. When I told my roommate, she didn't poke, she didn't prod, she just let me tell. And let me tell as much, as I wanted to. But I understand, as with being a parent, you're a parent, and I don't have any children, but I can understand how a parent would just want to know and feel so helpless. And knowing that I would have to have that conversation with my mom brought me great unease. But I knew that it had to be done eventually, because I felt like she should know. And for anyone else that I didn't tell, and that you're just watching this and finding out, and you're like, I've been around her, she didn't say anything. It's just what I said. It's hard, because sometimes you just don't want to talk about it. You just want to pretend that it didn't happen, or you just want to know that it happened. And sometimes it's difficult to feel like you have to manage someone else's emotions, like people that get deeply affected by your experience. And then you feel like, well, I'm not even okay. And I have to feel like now I got to make sure that you're okay and telling you that, but I don't want to have that burden on me as well. So many things are going through your mind. But, I let my mom know, and that was tough. That was really tough. And people, the reason why I chose to come on my show and share it is because, one, I want to do this one time to tell everyone. I want to be out there one time, because it's also not a secret. Unfortunately, we need to be more open and honest about our experiences, just so people know where we are. Why this person has been acting a particular type of way, why they haven't been talking to me, or maybe they're more reserved, or maybe they just seem sad. But if you are aware, if you can help others know why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, maybe it can help us all move forward. And I also want to talk about this because I want to remove the shame. There's so much shame associated with this. One of the questions that I got was, how are you going to protect yourself now? or, what did you do, or was there anything that you've done, or, why did this happen to you? And quite frankly, to everyone, it is not their fault. And you have to process that on every single level. I know sometimes on a surface level, we're like, duh, it's not their fault. But sometimes we say out of the way things like, well, what are you going to do to protect yourself? That question is to insinuate that individual was not protecting themselves. Then that means that individual, that puts the blame on the individual somehow now, when in actuality, they had nothing to do with the reason why they were sexually assaulted. They were sexually assaulted because the other person decided to take advantage of the situation and or of the individual. That's why the person was sexually assaulted. It doesn't necessarily have to do with protection. But I want to talk about like moving forward for myself. Let me tell you, people, this incident has really taught me boundaries, standing in my truth, and about what it is to have peace. That's how I got through this. People tell you all the time to make an active decision to be happy, to practice gratitude. But people don't often tell you and talk to you about having peace. The room that it happened in is my room. That's my room. And my mom was like, I don't understand how you can have peace. And people, you have to understand, no matter what happens to you, you have to make the choice and you have to make the decision that you will have peace. I will have peace in my home and in my house because it is mine. Bad things can happen in any given area or space, but so can beautiful things. There's been a lot of beautiful experiences in my room as well. Just because that negative experience happened, it won't take away my peace. And so having that active decision to have peace, choose happiness, has propelled me forward in so many ways, to be able to look at this situation and see the positives, see all the people that I have supporting me, see all the people that I have that love me, to also be aware to now trust myself in all situations, trust my gut. Don't allow anything to sway me, to trust my boundaries. That has been life-changing for me, boundaries. And I feel like, there's a lot of things that happened to me, this year that have shown me I had an issue with allowing people to overstep my boundaries. And having this situation happen was a huge wake-up call to me. I want to tell everyone to please talk to each other. Please support each other. If you feel like someone is going through something, maybe they are. Don't judge them. Don't laugh at them. Don't, be hard on people, because you never know what someone is going through. And every day I'm just so thankful to God that I'm where I am and that I'm able to talk about this, that it wasn't a violent experience, that I've gotten closure on what happened to me. I have no medical residue. There's nothing. I can move on from myself, but there are a lot of other people that aren't that lucky as I was, and I am aware of that. And it's just humbling. It's a very humbling experience. So beautiful people, I just want you to go out there, have an amazing day. Please talk to each other, love on one another. If you're seeing this for the first time and you're like, oh my gosh, she didn't tell me, I'm sorry. Please reach out to me if you would like to, if you need to say anything to me. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I just want to empower you all, empower anyone that this has happened to you, that you are not alone. And please check out my blog post about this same topic. Jalissa Joy, out.